We hope you enjoyed today's winning press conference. If you like the content we provide on our channel, please subscribe and check out our Patreon page to help us reach our goals. Make sure to stay tuned after this press conference as Eric Smith from RaceReviewOnline.net takes an early look ahead at the next race on the calendar.
All right, obviously joined now by the driver of the XPEL Team Penske Chevrolet, who almost went back-to-back and was probably thinking about people ready for us for good challenge and all that sort of thing. And what happened at the end?
Looking back at it, if I could think about it and run it through my head, which I already have done a million times, my car was tightening up, especially in traffic, and it probably wasn't handling exactly how I had at the start earlier in the race. And I was sort of maxed out on my tools, and I was trying to control the traffic so I didn't catch the traffic too much. And then in the end, the traffic actually checked up into me, and I knew it was going to be dramas going 3 and 4, but the whole last stint, I really struggled with my turn at 3 and 4. And I guess I wasn't prepared to take the risk on the outside at 3-4, which I probably, looking back at it, should have. But my teammate, obviously Joseph, chose to, and once he was the only outside of me, I can't do anything. So, look, I'm gutted, and I'll reevaluate everything over the next few days. And but it's funny, like last year I was fist pumping and jumping out of the car, finishing second. Today I'm like, oh, that sucks. But that's how it is, and that's how we're growing. And I'll learn from this and get better. And I probably just need to, expand, like maybe risk a little bit more when I need to, or try different lines here and there. And I'll learn that for the big one coming up in May. But one thing today was great. 600 wins for the captain. If anyone's going to beat me, it's my teammate. It's literally like, if anyone else beat me, I would be pissed. So, I'm kind of pissed now, but you know what I mean? But 600 wins for the team. We led a lot of laps. We extended the championship lead, and it's not all too bad. So, but yeah, I'm a race driver. I want to win, and it definitely hurts.
Let's go ahead and take some questions. Again, we also have virtually, those of you joining us on Zoom, if you don't mind, and put your questions in the chat so I can see them as well. Let's go ahead and start in person. Go ahead.
Obviously, how do you felt the conditions were as the race went on? Of course, you had the long series of like yellow flags that made your car a little bit better. What was the mind process?
Obviously the first stint went for a long time, and I actually battled with a vibration on that run, but we still had pretty good speed, and I managed to pull away. But definitely the wind, the conditions got changed towards the end of the race. Very gusty off turn 2, which made it quite loose, and then had a lot of push, quite tight through 3-4. So maybe my car wasn't quite set up for the gustier conditions, but all in all, I think we had a really solid race car today. I mean, we were right, thereabouts throughout the whole race, and I was able to put moves on. I passed Dixon into one, I passed a few others into one, and I was able to sort of command track position when I needed it, and that was exactly what we needed to do. Just didn't have the track positions at the right time.
Anyone else for Scott McLaughlin? We can get the microphone over here, Peyton. Thank you.
Well, a little more in detail, though, when you're coming around out of 3, going to the 4, and he is where he is, was there like any possible thing you could have done to close the line without it being risky?
Oh, no. Like I said, I was battling already on the exit of 3 and 4, so it would have been risky for me, for both of us, if I had moved. And I mean, when I got told that he's in the second lane, I was like, there we go. So, looking back at it, I was just too tentative, and at the end of the day, I'll learn from that. And I just didn't want to go out the last corner and hit the fence and not have either of us win, because I could quite easily taken Joseph out. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's one of those days which you look back on the end of the year, and championship wise, it might work out pretty good.
And at any point today during the battle, were you racing?
I caught around when I was sort of like the leader, and I had a good lead. I was sort of lapping him a little bit, but he was fast, and he was doing some really good moves. I saw him pass a guy on the outside and won a few others, and it was good to see. So yeah, JJ, we hang out a bit, and he's certainly coming strong, and I'm sure he feels a bit lot more confident in the ovals, and he's gonna be good at Indy. I'm really excited for him, and he's in a good car, so I'm excited for what's ahead. I think for IndyCar itself, it's exciting. A guy like that with so much talent and so much. There's not many people in America who don't know who Jimmy Johnson is, and if he's going to compete at the front of the Indy 500, hopefully just behind me, we're good. I'll lead him across the bricks at the end of the race. No dramas. Tuck in, mate. It's good prize money.
There's probably not many people globally that don't know who Jimmy is. I mean, you obviously.
No, everywhere that's like got NASCAR on television knows who JJ is. I mean, I knew who JJ was. I flipped out when I got his mobile number. So it was, it was pretty cool.
It was a moment, huh?
Here he is. Here he is. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Might see. No, that thing sinks as well. These awkward seats. Do you want me to go?
I wouldn't.
No, you can stay.
Stick
Okay.
around.
I'll just see you guys are doing one by one.
But obviously, he's got his cowboy hat on, so it's once again Jimmy Johnson.
How are their guns?
Yeah, head's much bigger now.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
hat.
Does that
bigger.
thing fit in the hat or what?
I keep having to get a new size.
It's a big head, mate. Yeah.
Stroking the ego. 3 laps led, but the most.
Was it 3? I thought I only got 1. That's good.
It's 3 for car.
3.
Just generally, your thoughts coming up on Scott there on that last lap, and maybe what was going through your mind there.
Well, it was a race of patience for sure, for us at least. We tried to manage all the way throughout. We had a lot of adversities, adversities to work through. We had a right front that was coming apart on the first stint, and then we got through that. It actually worked out pretty well. We cycled up the second, and then Scott was way up the road and started closing the gap. Obviously, I had the big yellow in the middle, and then the kind of the final restart, I just got my doors blown off by everybody because there was a ton of fuel to save at that point, and it seemed like no one was really worried about doing that right away. And I don't know where I went back to. I must have went back to 6th or 7th, and then just kind of methodically got back forward. And then at the end, I was like, Scott's gonna be hard to beat with traffic. He's been strong this whole time. He's strong last year, strong at the test. And I thought if we just had clear running, then we would have a great fight. We probably would have been dicing back and forth the entire time. But it gets so difficult when you have, cars that are about to go a lap down and they're fighting each other. And Scott's just trying to manage that. And it kind of hurts me to be able to close up on him. And then at the very end, I literally Scott and me were talking about it, but I literally conceded like 2 laps to go. I'm like, man, it's just not going to happen. And I literally almost lost it off 4 because it was pushing so hard to try and get close. So I was like, it's done. He did a good job. He was in position. He's going to win this race. You just bring it home.
You just could have held on for one more lap, like one more corner.
Yeah. And I could have kept that mindset.
Yeah,
but that mindset changed as soon as I got to corner 3. And the traffic just presented a great opportunity to really, I don't want to say the words, but just get after it and try and do something to win this race. So I went high side and I said, you know what, if I hit the fence, I hit the fence. Scott will still win. It'll be a great day for the team. If I don't hit the fence, then I don't know what's going to happen. And now you guys saw, I was so pumped. I've never been so excited. I got on the radio like in the middle of 3-4. I was like, no way.
One thing that was cool. It almost was like one of those, the old Penske, right? When they used to like DeFerrin and Cashner used to run across the line. I was like, I wish I was in front of you, but like at the end of the day, it was like kind of cool.
It was much more old school. And I think you might have had something like that, even if, there was no traffic to deal with and it was just Scott and me.
Well, remember at the restarts, it was like coming, like whoever led.
I think you would have had a finish like that where it was real close. Because just with 2 cars battling, you could really do a lot. And the drag race down the front stretch was big today. Like because of the headwind versus yesterday, you could get such a big run off 4. So it would have been an exciting finish the other way around, but it worked out the way it did today.
Question or 2 for Scott before we cut him loose, if you don't mind. Chris, go ahead.
Scott, 2-parter. Number 1, what did you learn today how much of a learning moment did you have today that'll help you out for the next time you run into a situation like this on an oval? And 2, can you think of another race in your career, whether it's supercars or here, where you had a lead position or a top 3 and then you lost it like that at the end? And what did you learn to help you?
Oh, I lost the championship on the last lap in 2017. So that is very similar, but not as hectic. What would I do different? Probably take the high line. But, like I said, I didn't risk that today. I think, yeah, should I have? Yeah, probably. That's an experience thing that I'll learn and come back with, and maybe think about that for next year. But like I said to you guys before, I was pushing that bad off 3. I just didn't have the confidence to run that line, that groove behind those cars. So, once he was up there, I had nothing. So I mean, it is what it is. I'll learn from it. But yeah, it's just that's IndyCar racing, it's oval racing. It's why we love it. And I think today's package I had a lot of fun out there. Regardless, I think I like passing, and when we ended up having the fuel race, and I slipped back to 4th there for a bit, and then had to work my way back to 2nd, almost the lead. That was fun. It's it's what I remember watching when I was a kid. So I hope, I certainly hope we have it continue to build with this package and get this better, because once you have a bit of 2 lanes through this track, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll have races like we did today.
Question in the middle, and then we have one from your friend David Turner.
Copy.
Go ahead.
Hi guys, this is for either of you. Dawn Hall, Track Smack Radio. Do you think the day racing in the daytime, played a factor in us seeing more passing, being able to move up and run higher lines than you had been in the past, where I know y'all have been worried about the PJ1 and stuff? Do you think the daytime racing, though, made for better racing than normally when y'all have been racing here in the evening, or did you not really tell a difference?
No, it wasn't the daytime running. It's the changes to the aerodynamic package. We were running quite a bit more downforce than last year. The wind direction was different today than normal. Normally we're getting a tailwind down the front straight. Today we had a headwind. So it also aids the passing. And also I actually think the session they ran yesterday cleaned up a little bit of the second lane.
Yeah,
it really did. I wouldn't have been able to do what I did in 3 and 4 last year. There's just no way. I would have hit the fence for sure.
They almost need to do that. Not only here, I think they should do that everywhere. Just build that, because no one's going to run the slower lane. People don't do that. We're focused on quality. I think Gateway, and I'm sure Iowa will bet it in. But I agree with Joseph. I think extra downforce was helpful. Personally, I like a night race. I think prime time is always awesome, but we don't make those decisions. Our boss does. This bloke.
One question from David Turner for you, Scott. He says, 1 year on now at Texas, how is racing on an oval now compared to coming in as a rookie?
Oh no, it's awesome. I enjoy oval racing. I wouldn't say I prefer it. I mean, I love just IndyCar racing, but like I said yesterday, IndyCar racing is oval racing, and I love it. I enjoy it. I learned off this guy last year, Will as well, Simon. Had some really good teachers that got me comfortable on the ovals and where I want the setup and where I want to go. And I feel like now I'm sort of going my way a little bit with the setup, which is, I think, helping the team overall as well. So, look, I love it. I love it. And I can't wait for more of it. Can't wait for May. I think as a team, we're going to have a pretty strong race car. So very exciting.
Can't let you go too. Obviously, you're wearing the hat that says 600.
Yes.
Both your thoughts on the captain picking up win number 600.
I mean,
the captain is so true to his word. Yeah. He gave me $600 in pit lane in cash.
Do you want to share it?
Was that the bounty? Whoever
yeah,
won?
We can. Yeah, 100%.
You take me to.
How did this
We're going to In and Out is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
we're going to take the whole team to In and Out. Jenna, you can tell the room what your solution was, Jenna. There you go. She said it. Yeah, we're gonna
yeah. Money. Who knows what we're gonna do? But anyway, we're gonna do something.
It's pretty cool though. I mean, it's funny. I was answering the question to pit lane, and I feel like
you going home tonight?
I have to go do an appearance for PPG in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
I'm stopping.
You can hand me the 600.
No, dude, I'm in Charlotte tonight.
Oh,
because I have to stop there.
That's right.
To get a connection for Pennsylvania.
I gotta stay here for.
Well, I wasn't suggesting that.
That sounds like a fun time. If I'm you two? Oh, that's awesome. Good for you guys.
You guys should just go either way.
I
if we don't make it, just
do it in our honor.
Send us photos and videos and stuff. Yeah, let us know how it is.
it's gonna get messy.
It's a big deal though. The 600.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I don't know how did that get to that point. Anyway,
We were literally talking about it before the race in the trailer, and we were
Yeah.
like, I think we were just getting to the 400 point when
Yeah,
it's 2017, and you had just joined the team like a year before or something.
yep.
And I came in 17, and then they just ripped from 400 to
400.
500 to 600. I mean, it's just like accelerated.
Yeah, that's why I said to Roger at Victoria Lane, it's amazing. Like we felt like we just celebrated 500. So it's a testament to the team and the people and globally. And as the supercar team we had down under, we had a few wins, and then the IndyCar team, along with the Xfinity Series, NASCAR Series, everyone puts in. And the best thing about it, everyone, is a part of it. Whether you're on the NASCAR side, the IndyCar side, the sports car side, back in the day, the supercar side. Whenever someone wins, there's some sort of reward for the whole organization as a whole, and that's what's really cool about it. So I'm really happy for everyone at home, and next one's hopefully I'm here for 700. If we're here for 700, we're going all right.
We'll do it here.
You'll have like 5 kids.
I-
You have one?
Two.
Two.
You'll have 5?
I'll have maybe.
Not 5.
And on David Hovis's birthday, is that correct?
Is it your birthday?
Is it your birthday today, Hovis?
Dude, Hovis didn't tell us that.
Happy birthday, Hovis.
Hovis, you want to hang out with Nate and Jenna? It's your birthday.
Yeah, go to the gentleman's club. Good on you.
Meryl will go with you. Or Meryl, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Scott will cut you loose on that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Scott
appreciate it.
McLaughlin comes home second in the XPEL Team Penske Chevrolet. All right.
Peace.
Anyone
Yes.
for our
Yes.
champion? Go ahead, Chris.
Hopefully that 600 is tax free. Anyway, Joseph.
What's 600? What are you
Anyway,
talking about?
Thank you. Elliot,
It was fake money,
No,
you know? I'm
Joseph,
not declaring that.
sorry. In 2012, 2013, you're, first year, second year in IndyCar.
That's true. It's a gift, right? I'll get Roger to fill it out. So sorry.
Perfect. In 2012, 2013, your first year, second year running an IndyCar on an oval. Would you, in his situation at that point in your career, have done the same thing?
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I think Scott didn't do anything wrong. I took a risk. I mean, I took a big risk there at the end. I just held it in 3-4 to see if it would work. And if it didn't work, it was going to be on me that I took a risk and it didn't work out. And I made that in a very split second decision. I mean, I'm serious when I say I was pretty much conceding with a lap and a half to go. It was just kind of was going to be what it was going to be. I wasn't in position correctly for that final stint. But I just went for it. And I think, he didn't do anything wrong. He was up on traffic. He was getting very loose. I was a little stronger than him at the end for sure. So I think it would be unwise. It actually just shows his wisdom. It would have been very unwise for him to just take a flyer and go high side without, knowing what's going to happen. He won the first race. He's leading the championship. That would have been silly for him to do that decision. For me, it was a risk, but I think it was somewhat calculated. I saw people going up there towards, the beginning of the race, middle of the race. So I took a calculated risk and it worked out.
How much does that decade of experience help you?
Yeah, it helps tremendously. I've been here a lot more than he has. I think this is my 11th appearance at Texas. So I have a lot more, to draw from experience wise. I've seen these situations a lot more than he has. So from that standpoint, it's an unfair advantage for me, experience wise on what to do or not do.
Go ahead, Nate.
I somewhat inartfully asked this of you yesterday, Joseph. So I'm going to try again. New team for you, new engineer, and you had for you an average finish at St. Pete, and afterward, like I was saying, you were very upbeat, and it almost seemed like you're the 2-time champion, and you want to make sure that you're kind of protective of all these new people and make sure you're the leader. What does this do for you, I guess, to win in race 2 with a team that I think for the most part is pretty much brand new, right?
Yeah, there was a high turnover on the 2 car. It's big. We've got a lot of people on that car that are just learning. But we've also got a lot of, I should temper that. We have people that have experience too, that are bringing a lot to the table and trying to rally, this new crew that we're working together with. There's a chemistry that you just have to build. And unfortunately, I think for some of the people on the team that are new and less experienced in their roles, you can't accelerate experience. You just can't. You can try and talk about it. You can try and spend a lot of time and to develop it away from the track, but you can't replace going to the track and doing the job. The experience is what matters. So you have to go through these times together. Getting a win so early is just going to help the overall morale. It's going to help, it's going to help the confidence of everyone on the team. And St. Pete was so incredibly disappointing to me. We had a great test going into it. I felt fantastic going into the weekend, and we had a lot of hurdles when we got to that track on that weekend specifically. And, we worked our way through it, and it wasn't a good weekend. And I told everybody, these things happen. I mean, and it's not what we wanted, but it's okay. Like we're going to see this at times. So let's just stay on our plan. Let's keep moving forward. And it'll eventually get there. And some of these times you even if you don't feel confident in the way things are going to come together, you just have to stay positive, because you're in the situation together. You're kind of with a brotherhood there almost, where you have each other's backs, and you have to lift each other up. So that's what we've been trying to do. I've been trying to do that from my side, but I think it takes everybody. It's not just me that's going to, make the difference. You have to make everyone believe that. And when they all do it, that's what really accelerates the program.
Yeah, I know that the driver always inherently is the focal point, but like you just said, you're kind of in maybe a more of a leadership role. Would you describe it maybe as maybe being a little bit differently, and do you relish it a little bit because it's kind of new?
I mean, I don't like saying that I am, but it's inevitable, right? I've been here. This is my 11th year in IndyCar. Of course, I'm in more of a senior position, I would say, from an experience and observative standpoint. Like I've seen a lot more than some of these people on the team. Doesn't matter that I don't have an engineering degree, but I've been in the trenches, working on this stuff with other people and knowing where we've been and, how we got to where we have gotten to in 2021 or 2022. So, that inherently gives you more of a senior leadership role, I would say. But, I don't think we try and operate that way. Everyone is a leader in the team. You got to get buy-in from everybody. It can't be just one person holding the torch, and carrying us all forward. We all got to believe that, and we all have to pick each other up. And so that's more of the discussions that we've had in the off season, is getting everyone to buy into the program, in this thought process and just, a team effort. And when you do that and you have the whole group feeling that way, that's when magic happens.
Bruce?
Every driver dreams of winning a race in the fashion that you won today. So how big of an adrenaline rush was it?
I'm telling you, I was yelling. I was on the radio way before the line, which is, I don't normally do that. You don't do that. You stay in the race. And I was just so pumped up that, one, the car was sticking. I wasn't flying towards the fence. I'm like, I think this is going to work out. But I've never had a race, end that way. I've never been in a position to capitalize on that type of victory. So I was really excited. I still really am. That's one of the coolest wins. I think that's probably the coolest win I've ever had on the 2 car. So hopefully, we have more of those, but really, really neat to be a part of that.
And also, you had a competitor who ran his first oval race today. He finished 6th, Jimmy Johnson. And
did Jimmy finish 6th?
Yes. In fact, he was 5th with a few laps to go.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah,
that's legit.
Yeah,
that's hard to finish 6th on Texas.
So now, how legit?
I mean, I know, but like it's hard, and like that's really good.
So now I guess you could say he's a legit contender for an Indy 500. So to add another guy like that into the mix, along with Scott McLaughlin, I mean, that race seems to get more difficult competitive wise every year. So,
well, look, not to take away from Jimmy, but it has been a steep learning curve. I mean, he's had to unlearn an entire career of operating procedures. Like the IndyCar is so removed from what a stock car is. So for him to be able to get on top of that so quickly, I think it makes sense. It's going better here at Texas because this is it's closer to what he's used to procedurally. So I don't want to act too surprised because, he is a 7-time champ for a reason. Incredible worker and, teammate. But, man, that's really good though. First IndyCar oval race 6 at Texas. These cars were hard to drive. The way that we draft, the way that the groove works for us, you can't just go up into lane 2 or 3 like the stock car. They're scrubbing a lot of speed before they get there. IndyCar, you got to pretty much keep it pinned. So just everything that he's got to learn, that's pretty impressive. He'll definitely add. I need to watch his race back, see how he got there, but I'm sure he'll be a huge threat at Indy then. That's great. Good news.
Anyone else for Jimmy in person? Sorry. Go ahead, Marshall. I'm sorry, with Joseph. What did I say?
Oh yeah, you did. Oh, I thought you were meant like, does anyone have any more questions about Jimmy that Joseph wants to answer?
Yesterday's
That's how I
news-
took that.
Yesterday's
Mark,
news,
sorry.
Newgarden, we've already forgotten about you. Winning in your race engineer's second ever race as an IndyCar engineer. Tell us about that. You've won a lot of races with new engineers, but for Eric Lytle in particular, truly, a couple of weeks ago in St. Pete, his first time engineering an IndyCar. This is remarkable stuff.
Well, look, I don't think you can discount the tall order that Eric has in front of him. I mean, he's a very smart individual, really great person, good personality, total team player. But, Eric's never engineered a car like this. I mean, not even anything close to this. And he hasn't been in an engineering position like this in, I don't know, 8 years. And that position was very, very different than the position he's in now. So he's had a lot to learn, a lot. And he is just trying to soak up information from everybody. He's been leaning on Dave, on Ben, all the other engineers, and they have done a great job of just trying to inject as much knowledge into Eric as quickly as possible. But just to my same point that I was making to Nate, you can't force this stuff. Like you can give Eric a binder with every piece of information he would ever need. And he could read the thing 3 times over before the season starts. But until he goes and does it, he's never going to really understand it. And he's not going to get good at that instinctual ability that he has to have as a race engineer. So he's got a super tall order in front of him. But he's just, he's staying positive. And a day like today is very validating for a person like Eric. And so I'm really happy for him. I'm happy for our group. It's only one race, so let's not get too excited, but this is a good boost for everybody. And I think, Eric's doing a tremendous job of being a team player for all of us. I don't know. We haven't divvied out the amounts yet. I don't know what $600 you're talking about, first off. Well, I mean, we're clean and clear, right? It's a gift. You don't got to pay tax on this. Yeah, I don't know. What am I talking about? I should gloat more about this $600. No, I don't know. We haven't divvied it out, but we're definitely going to get burgers. I'll probably give him one. You're right. That's a good idea. I'll do that.
Speaking of money, the People Ready Force for Good Challenge, $10,000 for the team and your favorite charity winning. What is your favorite charity?
So I'm splitting it between Serious Fun Children's Network, who I've done a lot of work with, and Wags and Walks out of Nashville. Wags and Walks is a rescue organization. They started in LA. They have a Nashville base. It's actually where we got our dog. So they do a really great job. They're growing. They're really small. So I hope that this is going to help. But yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to split it between those two.
Awesome. $5,000 for 2,500 for both those organizations. All right.
Right on.
We'll wrap it up. We got some TV affiliates for you, so stand by on that. Congratulations. Josef Newgarden, 21st career win, getting it done here at Texas. 21's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
There's more to come.
Not enough, but
Not
it's
enough.
a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for checking in with us as we take an early look ahead for the IndyCar Series. April 10th is the next race. That is going to be at Long Beach. That is the streets of Long Beach. Colton Herta, the defending champ, and Eric Smith from RaceReviewOnline.net is here to take an early look at what to look forward to following Sunday's race here in Texas.
Yeah, we're this will be one of the main pinnacles of IndyCar season. You got Indy 500 in Long Beach. It's been around for years and should have a good race again. And like all the other races, starting position is key here. And other than Colton Herta last year, but he had the most dominant car and coming from 15.
Yeah, that's unusual then, right?
It is. And he just had that good of a car. But other than that, you've got to start up front, and it's been that way for years on street courses. And it's another one that qualifying is very important, which makes an IndyCar race weekend per se. You got to get it right off the truck. You got to be good in practice, good in qualifying, because it sets you up for a good race.
Was there something in that you noticed with Colton Herta in practice or anything else that led you to believe that qualifying spot was, don't pay attention to that? Maybe there was just a minor hiccup during his qualifying session. He's going to be a lot faster, and he went ahead and proved it.
Yes, practice, he was dominant. It didn't matter what session, what type compound, whether the blacks or the reds. He just was good. It just, I think he was slowed up, if I'm not mistaken, on one of his laps, and then he pit for new tires and just ran out of time. And that's another thing with IndyCar, with street courses too. Some of them aren't as long. St. Pete and Long Beach are both under 2 miles in length, and you have that many cars on the same track. And you need an open gap for a hot lap and not run over somebody in front. It's hard to find the gap, and that's what cost Herta last year. That's why he started 14th. But his race car was good, and even starting 14th, everybody knew he'd come through the field, which is still rare.
Yeah, that's not something you want to keep trying every week on the IndyCar Series.
No, it's not going to work very much. Yeah, no.
So now there have been 9 different drivers that have won street course races over the last 12?
Correct. Yeah, just street course races in general. So which would be this weekend, or the Long Beach, you got St. Pete, you've got Nashville, which was the first year for that last year, and Belle Isle. Well, now you're adding Toronto back, I guess, for this season, but that's it. So if you just focus on those street course races, you had 9 different winners. So there is parity. But all of them are from the big teams. Penske, Ganassi, Andretti, or Aaron McLaren SP are the only teams that have produced a winner in that span. It just seems to be teammates among those guys winning these races.
Okay, track comparison. Was there one specific track that, if you want to take a look at past performances, that make the most sense compared to Long Beach?
Probably St. Pete, in the sense that they're both smaller street courses. Last year, Colton Herta led 97 of the 100 laps in St. Pete. And then you fast forward to Long Beach, which was the season finale last year. He had the best car again. So I would say St. Pete's probably the best one to look at for comparison the two, which probably bodes well for Scott McLaughlin, since he won St. Pete earlier this season from the pole, I might add. So I would say those are probably the 2 closest comparisons you can compare to
if
Long
we
Beach.
were going to then take a look at a different driver to win another street course race, give me a name or two that fits.
I would say another new one, not of the 9, basically.
Because now we want to go to 10 different drivers in 13 races. If we can do that,
yep.
Is there a driver out there that fits that? Or do you think this is going to be the end of that run and we're going to go 9 out of 13?
I'd honestly say Alex Palou. He started off struggling on street courses, and he's gotten better as last season went on. He started off this year with a runner-up in St. Pete. So he's a Ganassi driver. Feels like he's just destined to win some bigger races soon. So, yeah, I'd say probably Alex Palou is your top.
Interesting.
Because his teammate Marcus Ericsson had never won an IndyCar race before until last year, and he wins 2 street course races. So it's his teammate. Dixon's been good on street courses, just maybe not as much. So I'd say Palou is probably your top bet of a guy to keep that streak going.
And then lastly, the favorites. Right now, you would say Newgarden, Dixon, Power, Rossi, and Herta. Out of those, give me a favorite of favorites.
I'd say, only based off of how good Penske was in St. Pete, I'm going to say Newgarden. He's never won Long Beach before. Long Beach and Indy are the 2 that have been escaping him. I think he's due. He's got 3 podiums in his last 4 in Long Beach, including 6 straight top 10s. He's had 7 top 2s in his last 11 street course races in general. He was second in Long Beach last year. So I like Newgarden. I'd say out of that group right now, I'd say Newgarden.
And then the last one is sleepers. As far as potential sleepers, if I throw in Ericsson, Pagenaud, Rahal, and Castroneves, who's your top sleeper?
Probably, I'd say Rahal again. He's got 2 top 5s in his last 3 in Long Beach, 4 top 10s in his last 8. They seem to have a good street course package. His last wins, coincidentally enough, were 2017 on a street course. He swept the Belle Isle weekend. So, yeah, I'd say you could probably jump on him. Again, qualifying is everything, and they've known that's been something they need to improve on. So we'll see if they can get that straightened out and being up front in Long Beach and maybe get a win.
Again, that's coming up April 10th, so it's an early look ahead. You're going to have all the information recapping everything that took place today in Texas at the race. that we just saw. So that's going to be over at racereviewonline.net. And then it's off to all of your detailed, in-depth coverage of the race at Long Beach. But again, we got a couple of weeks before that happens. In the meantime, in case there are fans out there of the IndyCar Series and the NASCAR Series, keep in mind we have a NASCAR show. We do that weekly. That's because NASCAR runs weekly compared to IndyCar.
Yeah.
And so we break down all the drivers, odds, picks, fantasy talk, futures, everything you can think of. So that's on our weekly NASCAR show, which usually airs every Thursday or Friday here on Prime Sports Network. So, but we will definitely continue to do this, have these available for you, early previews. And then once we get the time as well, we'll also do some more in-depth previews of the races on the IndyCar Series and go over the odds, just like we do NASCAR. But anyway, that's for later on down the road. Eric, appreciate it, and look forward to talking to you again next week when we talk road course in the NASCAR Series. So that should be a lot interesting. Yep. And again, that's going to keep us preoccupied till April 10th.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. COTA, and then NASCAR's got all but 1 week off the rest of the year. That's why we did that. But yeah, IndyCar is this 3 races in 61 days stretch, and then it really ramps up when we get to May. So yeah, things will speed up more here in another month.
Appreciate it, Eric. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.